want to get into tributyrin X versus sodium butyrate, calcium, magnesium butyrate, all of the other butyrates out there, the commonalities and then the differences.
Yeah, and I didn't even talk about the oxygen layer
Oh,
yet, but if we have
let's
time, we'll circle back to that.
okay.
Uh, so just like cell phones go through a development process, right? Like the first we had flip phones. If you're old enough, you can remember. I had a Razor. A lot of people had flip phones. There was car phones before that, these big bricks, and then there was the first iPhones, and those iPhones were like nothing compared to the iPhone 15. Um, that development process is very similar when it comes to supplements as well. In this case, people knew that butyrate was probably important, and usually the fastest way to stabilize a molecule that's very reactive to oxygen and is hard to work with is you bind it with salt or sodium. And so sodium butyrate was the first version of uh, butyrate supplements to be commercially available everywhere because it was the cheapest and the easiest to work with. And then there was a lot of studies actually on sodium butyrate, at least, probably at least 10 in humans of oral supplementation. And the results of those studies are generally very positive. I would say, at a minimum, there's either no results or very, very good results, whatever they were studying. Um, then CalMag butyrates came out next, and they were like a minor upgrade, but like not, it didn't get a lot of traction because they still smell pretty bad. The way in which minerals, sodium's a mineral, calcium's a mineral, magnesium's a mineral, the way that these minerals are absorbed in the body, it's kind of going to happen in the first part of the digestive process. Then people knew about tributyrin for a long time. It's just that it's a very difficult and delicate molecule to work with. And so in order to get it into a human, we have to tolerate the taste and the smell. And so if you've ever smelt a sodium butyrate bottle or even a CalMag bottle, it can be pretty dark. I liken it to like bile vomit smell. Like if you ever vomited some bile, like it's pretty gnarly. Um, some people don't care. They don't care. They don't have a smell aversion. I do. But anyways, tributyrin, they figured out a way to start to work with it more and then encapsulate it. A scientist in Spain that we worked with, he figured out a way to encapsulate it such that you don't have that smell. You just have like a manufactured smell. You don't have the deep bile smell. And why this is so important is because prior to this, tributyrin had been studied in humans, and the results of those studies were significantly higher safety tolerances, like 10x the dosages were used from sodium butyrate in humans to tributyrin in humans. Um, the studies in rats and mice, they did studies where they gave IV sodium butyrate. IV should always win any challenge. And then they gave oral tributyrin, and the oral tributyrin beat the results of the IV
Wow.
sodium butyrate. It was really wild stuff. And so what we can deduce from the research is that tributyrin is safer, it's stronger, and it penetrates deeper into the gut, which is where we want to go. We want to go as deep into the gut as we can go because it needs a little lipase to break apart. So it's kind of like a time released molecule in and of itself. So it is the clear winner, even though the science hasn't quite caught up yet because it hasn't been around as long commercially available for the scientists to use it. Um, we will see in the next 10 years, tributyrin is a far superior molecule to sodium butyrate. And I think pretty much anybody who's done a test trial between the two and their own bodies, they report the same things. And then if you put it inside of an enteric coated capsule, which is what we have at Healthy Gut, and I still believe I think we're still the only one in the world doing it. This patent pending capsule is going to protect it until the pH reaches 7. And you might think like, big word. Why does it matter? I don't care about this stuff. You sound like a nerd. I am. And it does matter because we want to get the molecule through the stomach as much as possible because the stomach, it's supposed to destroy things. It's supposed to break things down. And all the rest of the products on the market use either a capsule that's not resistant, or they use a acid resistant capsule. Acid resistant capsules typically disintegrate in less than 45 minutes. The manufacturer won't like warranty or claim them beyond that. Our food should be in our stomach like usually 90 minutes somewhere between 60 minutes to 2 hours, somewhere around 90 minutes. So you're not going to get that capsule and that liquid through there. It's going to get broken down, and then the stomach's going to start churning that stuff up.
Mm.
Versus our capsule, we run simulated tests on every single production run. We run them through simulated tests. We always beat the 2 hour and 15-minute mark. Normally with zero broken capsules, meaning like there's not even like a few capsules that are deformed. They work every single time. And what that does is it just makes sure that when it opens, it's already down in your small intestine. And
Wow.
that is the key, is the delivery point, and then how long it takes to actually come apart and everything. Um, Most people, again, can do like a challenge between our product and other people's tributylin, and they do notice a difference.
I love that you talk about the specificity of the action and when it's supposed to be broken down, the time, how to take it, when to take it. Because the problem in the supplement world, first of all, 95% of supplements are junk. Next, you've got these companies that are not being stringent about mold and bacteria in the supplements. So you're taking a supplement and it's probably causing a histamine reaction because it's full of mold and it's backfiring. Or it's sprinkling in a little bit of an ingredient so it can put it on the label. And this is where that's why I love your company, Stephen. And it's so alike accelerated health products because we're so vigilant about delivery and action and efficacy. Because if it's not going to work for you, then you're not going to come back and use it, and it's not going to help you, right? So the Tributyrin X. Okay, so I am taking my Holozyme. Well, I'm first taking my HistoHarmony 20 minutes before I eat. So I'm cooking my dinner. I take my
Mhm.
HistoHarmony. I finish cooking it, put it on the table. I'm taking my HCL Garden Holozyme with my first bite of food, typically around there.
Okay. Awesome.
And then the Tributyrin X is kind of post meal or mid meal. Would that be correct?
Yeah, yeah, you can literally take it on an empty stomach. You could take it with your HCL. Again, it will not open until the pH is 7 or higher. So, it won't come apart just because you take it with some enzymes. It won't come apart just because you take it with some HCL. Um, certain products are dosed better on an empty stomach or with food. But because of the capsule technology, and because of the fact that butyrate is literally being produced inside of you 24/7, there's not really something that suggests you have to take it with meals, or you have to take it at the end of your meal. I try to tell people, like you and I, Sarah, we're definitely on the weird spectrum, and we love supplements and we don't forget. But there's a lot of people out there that struggle with like forgetting to take them, or like not having them near the table when they sit down to eat. It's just not on the it's not like ingrained in a really deep habit for their health yet. And so I try to make sure that people know, if you're one of those people who just is trying to remember to take them, just whenever you remember, take it.